Now, permissive licenses. There are free software licenses. They can be either copyleft or they can be permissive. So, free software licenses which are copyleft, they make it so that people who make copies and distribute them, they have to keep using the same license for the redistribution. This is done so that the user who receives the copy is guaranteed the same freedoms that the license gives to the one distributing the copies. So this way everyone keeps their freedom. So one cannot take a software program that is licensed under, let's say, the GNU GPL version 3 and then change that to a proprietary program and then distribute it as such. That isn't allowed. So this basically, this is a, so I see this as a good thing. It helps protect users' rights because everyone is guaranteed the freedom, no one is allowed to take it away. Then there are the people who say that the copyleft licenses are wrong because they restrict the distributors' supposed freedom to distribute the software under whatever license they want. So basically these are the the BSD peoples and the likes. So let's just look at the BSD peoples, for example. The BSD licenses, they allow the software to be distributed as proprietary software. It was initially licensed under the free software license, the BSD license, or there is not really the BSD license, there are many BSD licenses. So a BSD license. It was initially a program can be distributed on under a BSD license. It can be then distributed as a proprietary software after it has been first received as a free software program. It can be then put out as a proprietary program. So basically it doesn't guarantee that the users who receive the software have the freedom. They can lose the freedom. Someone in the middle can take the freedom away in the chain of distribution. If person A distributes the software to person B and then person B distributes the program to person C, then B here in the middle can take away the freedom that the person C will have or could have. Whereas copyleft, it guarantees that everyone has the freedom. The person B cannot take away the freedom of the person C. So that's the function that the copyleft serves. And I think that's good. Now, some argue that this is bad because they say that the person B should have the freedom, as they say it, to distribute the software as how they want because they see that as part of their freedom. Now, that's the part that I disagree with. Here's my argument against that. You see, it's not freedom that the distributor has when they choose a license. When a person who holds a copy of software, let's say it's under one of those BSD licenses. Now the person has the choice to choose a license to redistribute the software under. Now the BSD people say that this is a freedom that the person should have to choose whatever license, but I argue that it's not a freedom at all. You see, the way I see it is that freedom is, what it means is to have control over one's own life and their belongings and all that. But then to choose a license for a software that a person distributes, I don't think there's any relevance to freedom in that. Let's say you have a program. You don't have any freedom. You don't gain anything or lose anything depending on what license you choose. So the license is not something that affects your life in any way. So therefore it's irrelevant when it comes to your freedom. It doesn't have anything to do with whatever goes on with your life. So if freedom is having control over your own life, basically. So how does choosing the license relate to that? It doesn't. It's irrelevant, because whatever license you have, choose, whatever license you choose for the software, it doesn't affect you in any way. So then, you see, who it really affects are the people who receive the program. So, you receive a program under a BSD license, and then you select a license. Whatever license you choose, it doesn't affect you. Who it affects is the other people who receive the program. And you know what that is called? That's power. That's power over other people. That's not freedom. You don't have any freedom in what license you choose. The license is a tool to control other people. So if you choose a proprietary license, you have now inflicted control over other people. You have gained power over other people. In choosing a proprietary license, you don't gain any freedom. And if you choose a free license, you don't lose any freedom there. You don't gain or lose any freedom. It doesn't affect your life in any way. Basically, when you are distributing a software, you are setting the terms to use that software for other people. So you are not controlling your own life. So that's why I think it's perfectly reasonable to take that choice away, to have a copylefted software. So if I need to, that works as a justification for the for the idea that, like, the BSD people, they say that they want to have the supposed freedom to choose whatever license. No, I don't think so. So to take that supposed freedom away, I think is perfectly justified, because you don't need the quote freedom unquote to choose whatever license, because it doesn't affect your life. It affects other people's life. So it's perfectly fine to take away that choice in the form of the copyleft. So when you now receive a program under a copyleft license, let's say the GNU GPL version 3 again, you don't get the choice to choose whatever license you want. You don't get to set the terms for other people. So do you lose any actual freedom in this? The BSD people, they argue that you do, but I don't think so, because what difference does it make to you? Whatever you do with your life, what difference does it make? What license you choose? It makes no difference. The only difference it makes is what effect it has on other people. That's the only difference it has. It only affects other people. You are setting the terms for other people. It doesn't affect your life, so your no freedom is being taken away from you. So I think the BSD people are wrong. They are completely wrong in supporting the BSD licenses over. More like they are wrong opposing the copyleft, because copyleft is good. Copyleft guarantees that everyone has freedom. It doesn't allow anyone in the middle, the person B, to set the terms for the person C to use the program. It's unreasonable, really, to give anyone such power anyway, such control over other people's lives. Why then defend this supposed freedom like the BSD people do? Well, I don't know. I guess they just like distributing proprietary programs and taking away people's freedom then. Who knows? What reason they would have for that, I don't know. I guess they just don't see it as being wrong to distribute proprietary software. So then it's a question of how much do they really value freedom if they approve of proprietary software existing in the form of preferring the permissive licenses over the copyleft licenses, then they are really saying that they don't actually care about the freedom, really. Because in their worldview, it's perfectly justified to distribute a program to someone under the terms of a proprietary license, which takes away that someone's freedom. So I imagine they basically just justify it as that distributor having the freedom to choose whatever license they want. But like I have now explained, choosing the license for the distributor to choose a license, it doesn't actually gain them any freedom. They don't gain or lose any freedom in what license they choose. The only thing they gain or lose is how much power they have over other people. So, what Copyleft does is that it takes away from people the opportunity to gain power over other people. That's what it really does. So, really, the way I see it is that those PSD people don't actually care about freedom all that much. What they care about, or they might care about freedom to an extent, but they also don't want to take away that opportunity to gain power over other people. So, in their worldview, it's not wrong to subjugate people with proprietary licenses. Well, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. It still beats the people who actually prefer proprietary software, but it's not that far from it, because they still approve of proprietary software existing. But at least the PSD people who develop free software, at least they still prefer free software and they make their software free. So it's not like they are doing anything wrong. If you choose a proprietary, if you choose a permissive license, then even if someone uses it to make a proprietary program, it's not you who's doing anything wrong. So the PSD people don't necessarily do anything wrong there, but they do kind of enable the wrongdoing. So can the PSD people be called evil for allowing the proprietary software to exist? I'm not sure. They don't do evil necessarily directly themselves, so in that, no, but they do enable evil to take place. A program that is released under a permissive license, like one of the BSD licenses, it creates an opportunity for someone to do wrong. So, since it's possible to prevent that, to then consciously take the action to not prevent that wrong, to allow it to happen in advance, to allow it to happen in the future, could it be considered to be wrong? I'm not so sure yet. I'm thinking about that. Possibly. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing to think about. Yeah. Well, I think that might be it for the speech. So, goodbye now.